Let's hear our jingle. Welcome to ABC Yoga. I'm Amy, my husband Bill, and of course we may see an occasional cat. So let's start in one of my favorite poses this morning, child's pose. Make it as comfortable as possible. Big toes touching, knees as wide as you wish. Extending those arms out in front of you. And the forehead rests on a brick or on the floor. So these first initial breaths, we just energetically allow ourselves to come into our space, onto our mats, beginning to come into our feeling bodies and out of those thinking minds. So beginning to synchronize our breath together, let's take a beautiful full inhale in through the nose. Sip in a little more air. We'll open up the mouth and just let it go. Let's take 3 more breaths like that. Inhale. Beautiful long exhale. 2 more breaths. We inhale. Breathe all the way to the tops of our shoulders. Gorgeous long exhale. Squeeze the air all the way out. 1 more breath together. Inhale. We let it go completely. And then just pause here. Allow the bones to feel heavy. Let go of any holdings in the belly. We'll gently rock the forehead side to side. And we'll take a walk with the hands to the right side of our mat. So just keeping the hands parallel, maybe even finding the finger pads on that left hand. You hollow out the armpit. Feel that gorgeous stretch on the left side of the body. We unhinge our jaw. And maybe we take a little further walk after a few of those breaths. 1 more inhale here. And then we'll walk through center, our home base, and we'll keep our hands parallel. Forehead may or may not connect with the floor. And after a few breaths, find the fingertips of the right hand. Hollow out the armpit, feel that gentle stretch. Maybe it's a slight, I don't want to say tug, but a sensation underneath the armpit. And if it feels good, maybe take a little further walk to the left. And we'll come back to center. We'll come onto our hands and knees, and we're going to cross our ankles. You can sit on a brick, but we'll find a comfortable seated position. Our hands rest on our thighs, and we'll begin the circular motion. So we inhale our heart forward. On an exhale, we round out the belly. Start slowly, maybe leading with that shoulder. So slow revolutions. You feel those sits bones making as wide of a circle as you can. Let's take 3 more in this direction, really slowing it down. Just noticing at this time of the year, it gets darker early, more of our energy is focused inside. Let's take 1 more revolution in this direction. So as we pay attention to nature, what's happening outside happens to us as well. So we slow down. We go to bed early. So just noticing what the seasons do to you energetically. Let's take 2 more rolls in this direction. Maybe you make a smaller circle here as we find that stillness. Bringing your hands to heart center. We set an intention for our practice this morning. We flutter our eyelids open, and let's come to a standing position. So we'll take about slightly wider than hips distance with our feet. We take a nice deep bend in our knees. We hinge from our hips. Spread those toes out. Hand support on the floor. You can come on your finger pads, use a brick, but just shake out your head side to side. And we'll shake our head up and down. And find that nice stability with our feet. We'll interlace our hands behind our back body. You can use a hand towel or a strap, and we'll just draw our hands away from our back body. So those knees can be as bent as needed. We shake out that head. Spread those toes wide again. Take more weight into the balls of the feet. Maybe draw your hands further away from the back body. Let the head be totally loose. So lengthening out the neck. On the inhale, we'll find that halfway lift. Beautiful. Opposite thumb on top. Full breath in here. Gentle exhale. Head is loose. Crown of the head towards the floor. So imagine all of those thoughts so far of the morning, we're pouring them out of our head, emptying out that mind, filling our body with fresh breath with each inhalation. Gorgeous. And we'll slowly find that halfway lift. You can take your hands on your hips. We'll come all the way up. And we'll stand at the top of our mat, Samastitihi. The old man's taking a walk this morning. So resting our hands alongside the body, not you, the cat. Big breath in. Let's cactus our hands out to the side. Shake out that head again. A big breath in and a deep forward fold. Finding half sun salutations to start this morning. We find that halfway lift. Hands rest on the shins. Open up the collarbones. Take a slight bend in the knees. And then forward fold, crown of the head towards the floor. Or just unroll the spine. We inhale those arms up overhead again. And we'll cactus those hands. Lift your heart, shake out that head. We inhale and forward fold again. Those half sun salutations. We find that halfway lift. Hands rest on the shins. Open up those collarbones. Crown of the head towards the floor, and just unroll that spine again. Head is super heavy. We inhale those arms up overhead. One last time, we cactus those hands out to the side. Shake your head. Our heart is lifted. We breathe in. Beautiful. And melt forward. Uttanasana. We find that halfway lift. Step the right leg back, right knee to the floor. Bend through those hips. We open up those collarbones again. Spread the toes. And we'll take those hands on the thighs. Now notice if your heart is reaching forward, let's find that beautiful tall spine. Draw that heel back towards the center line. Then we'll extend the arms. And let's just cactus those hands out to the side again. So we'll take a gaze over the right shoulder, spread the fingers wide. Head through center, take a gaze over that left shoulder. We inhale the arms up overhead. Take your hands outside the front foot. We'll just step the right foot forward and change sides. The left leg down, take the knee to the earth. So start with melting through those hips. We open up the collarbones. Then we'll take our hands on the right thigh and that tall spine. So energetically draw that right heel back towards the center. We'll extend the arms up towards the sky. Palms are facing towards one another. Then we'll cactus. Now gaze over the left shoulder. Back through center. And gaze over the opposite shoulder. We inhale. Hands to the floor, step the left leg to the right. You find that halfway lift, forward fold, and last time we unwind the spine. Full breath in. And hands to heart center. Uttanasana. Halfway lift. Please step the feet back into our high plank. Shoulders over to the wrist creases. Boy, we're seeing all the cats this morning. There's Hannah. Let's lift that back body. Rooting through that left foot, we'll hover the right foot a few inches off the floor. Take the right knee to the right shoulder and extend it. 3 more on this side. We breathe in. You can drop the knees if you wish. Right knee, right shoulder. Last one on this side. Right knee, right shoulder. Take the leg back into your high plank. Other side, the left knee, the left toes float. We take the knee to the shoulder and lengthen. 3 more. Take your time. We're breathing. We're getting so strong. Last one on this side. Knee towards the shoulder, toes to the earth, downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. So shake out the head, first downward dog of the day. So we'll pedal out those feet, warming up those calves, and finding stillness in our downward dog. So lines of energy out through those sits bones. Our heels are drawn towards the floor. Shake out that head one more time. And we'll take our big toes into that center plane. The right leg lifts. We bend the knees, stack the hips. Extend the right leg, step it forward into our warrior one. A full breath in. And we'll cactus those hands out towards the side again. So we're gonna come onto the ball of the left foot. We're gonna squeeze those elbows in as we hover that left knee above the earth. And then we're lengthen open into cactus. 3 more like that. Slowly squeeze and we open, even maybe lengthening through that front leg. 2 more. Squeeze and extend. Last one. Those elbows hug in. We lengthen, find your way into that high lunge. And first vinyasa, hands to the floor, right leg back, high to low plank, cobra, or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. The right leg lifts. We bend the knees, stack the hips. Extend the right leg, step it forward. We find that warrior one. Full breath in. Then we'll come onto the ball of the right leg and we cactus those hands. So before we start moving, find that scissor action with your hips. And we'll hover that right knee as we squeeze those elbows in. And we lengthen and extend. 3 more. We're breathing. Can take this on your knees. Last 2. We open. Last one, we squeeze those elbows in, subtle movements. We lengthen and then extend the arms into that high lunge. We'll cycle through our vinyasa. Hands to the floor, left leg back, high to low plank, cobra or upward dog, downward dog. Pause and breathe. Slow down that breath. Keeping that mind busy, tracing that that inhalation and our exhalation. Please take one more gorgeous breath in. We let it go completely. As you look forward, bend those knees, step, hop, or just walk to the top of the mat. Halfway lift, deep forward fold. Now rise, full breath in. As we take our hands to heart center or swan dive forward, take your time. We find that halfway lift. Step or jump those feet back with control, high to low plank. That cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Our right leg lifts. We bend the knee, we stack the hips. The right leg extends, we step it forward into our warrior one. We breathe in, and we'll open into warrior 2. Let's reverse on the inhale. Right hand high. We fan those right ribs open and just elevate that left hand. Can you go a little deeper? Maybe taking that left hand behind into the hip crease. We'll take one more breath in, hands to the mat. Take your time, your vinyasa. Add extra push-ups. You can skip the vinyasa. We'll meet in downward dog. We'll pause and breathe. The left leg lifts. We bend the knee and stack the hips. Extend the left leg, step it forward into our warrior one on this side. Full breath in as we open into warrior two. So when we're left hand high, we find that reversed warrior and extend the right hand. So those left ribs are fanning wide as we energetically still keep that left knee tracking forward over the left knee. Now maybe taking the wrap with that right hand. One more full breath here. Hands to the floor. Your vinyasa, take your time. High to low plank, cobra, or up dog. We'll meet in downward dog. We pause and breathe. Again and again, we reconnect with our breath. That equal inhalation and exhalation. Ujjayi, audible breath. Please take one more full inhale here. We let that go completely. Gaze forward, deep bend in the knees and hip creases. You step, hop, jump, however you wish to get to the top, halfway lift. That deep forward fold, and we rise. We root to rise. As we swan dive, our hands to heart center. Take your time. We find that halfway lift. Jump or step those feet back high to low plank. A cobra or up dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Right leg lifts. The knee bends. We stack those hips. Extend the right leg. Step it forward. Warrior one. Full breath in. As we open into warrior two, we take a reverse, full breath in here, and on an exhale, forearm on thigh, left arm up and over. Pausing here, that gorgeous line of energy from the fingers out through the outer edge of that left foot. And we'll flow between these postures, so finding our way into two. We reverse on the inhale. Exhale back into warrior two. Left arm up and over. Two more cycles here. So the lower body stays where it is. We're moving with our breath. We're taking our time, exploring the full postures as we take that left hand up and over. Last one here. So we find our two. We reverse. Gorgeous, back through warrior two, lines of energy out through those fingertips. Now forearm on thigh, left arm up and over. So let's just let that right hand float. We tick-tock it back side to side, finding that incredible core strength. Maybe you take your fingers towards the floor. Maybe it's a hand or a brick, or you stay supported. We have two more breaths here. Finding those sensations in the right thigh, let's invite that right hand up. And we'll open, blossom open into warrior two. So nice, you guys. Hands to the floor. Your vinyasa, high to low. A cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. Our left leg lifts. We bend the knees, stack the hips. Extend the left leg, step it forward into our warrior one as we open into warrior two. Beautiful. Let's reverse our flow. We'll find our way back into warrior two. Now forearm on the thigh, right arm up and over. So make sure that left knee is tracking over the left pinky toe. You feel that gorgeous line of energy. Turn the pinky towards the floor. We'll draw that shoulder back in the socket. So that lower body is staying in the same position. So we'll meet back into warrior two. Let's reverse. Warrior two. And forearm on thigh, right arm up and over. 2 more cycles. So move with your breath. Take your time. There's no rushing. Using that whole inhalation or exhalation. Lines of energy out through the fingertips. We've got 1 more cycle here. So we find our way through 2. We reverse. Beautiful. Back through 2. We'll take the forearm on the thigh, right arm up and over. So feel the outer edge of that right foot, the lines of energy out through the fingertips. Now take that elbow or forearm off the thigh. You just tick-tock that hand, knowing that that core is doing the work. Maybe we invite the hand up. Some strong sensations in that leg. We blast off back into 2. Gorgeous, your vinyasa. So take your time, left leg back, high to low plank, a cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Pause and breathe. Slowing down that breath. Taking a quick body scan here. Where are you gripping in the body? Please take 1 more full inhale. We let it go completely. Bend those knees. We step, hop, or jump to the top of the mat. Halfway lift. Deep forward fold. Now we sit into our chair. Extending those arms up towards the sky. So a full breath in here. On an exhale, hands behind you. Lift those heels. Squeeze those knees together. We're balancing on the balls of the feet. We'll take 3 more like this. So we find our way back into chair. Hands behind you. Lift those heels. Squeeze those knees. We pause. 2 more. So we just take our time. We find that extension. Hands behind you. Lift those heels. Squeeze those knees. We zip up that core. We've got 1 more. So nice. We're breathing, we're taking our time. Hands behind you, look straight ahead. Squeeze those knees together for 3, for 2, and on 1, we sit into that chair. We bring our hands to our heart as we fold. Gorgeous work. We find that halfway lift. Take your time, step or jump those feet back. High to low plank, a cobra or upward dog. We meet in downward dog. We pause and breathe. Shake out that head. Our right leg lifts. We bend the knee and stack the hips. So keep reaching that right knee up towards the sky. We shake out that head and we'll flip our dog, finding wild thing. So you support on your hips. You lift those hips high. That left hand's directly underneath your left shoulder. Maybe take the right hand up towards the sky, or you can drop it, opening up the chest. Maybe both hands connect with the floor. But you want to use the 4 corners of your feet. So really use those toes and heel. And we'll slowly watch that right hand come to the floor. Find your way into downward dog, shake it out. We'll find the other side. The left leg lifts. We bend the knee, stack the hips. Stay here, equally rooting the hands. Energetically, we lift that left knee higher. You stay here, or we find wild thing on the other side. So I take it in stages. I support that left hand on the left hip. Right hand is directly underneath the right shoulder. You lift through those hip points, maybe extend the left hand, or take it up and over. We're breathing in and out through the nose. The face is soft, the jaw relaxed. We take 1 more breath in. With control, we watch that left hand as it connects with the floor, finding your way through downward dog, and we'll cycle through a vinyasa. So high to low plank, a cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Steady breathing. Hollowing out those armpits. We inhale to high plank, spin the heels to the left, Vashisthasana. So maybe you take that knee to the floor, right hand up towards the sky. I'm offsetting my feet this morning. You can stack your feet, but let's lift those hips and we'll find our rainbow shape. Breathing here. One more inhale. On an exhale, hands to the floor. Find your way through high plank and we'll come to the other side. So heels to the right. I'm going to modify this side. Right knee to the floor. Left hand up towards the sky. So you find that support, not yet. Then you'll take that left hand over the ear. Breathing here. And left hand to the floor, finding your way through high plank to low plank, a cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Pause and breathe. Slow down that breath. Bill already knows where we're going. So on an inhale, we'll find our way back to high plank, Vashisthasana. Again, you spin and stack. I'm going to modify right hand up towards the sky. So elevating the legs, you can take the right hand over the ear, or we'll draw the knee and elbow in, and we lengthen. Taking your time. So you can try hard or you can try easy. Let's take two more on this side. This one will hold, elbow in towards your knee. 5, 4, 3, 2, on 1, we lengthen. Hands to the floor. Find your way through high plank. You can take a vinyasa or just meet us in downward dog. Eyes towards the back of the mat. And last side, we'll inhale to high plank, Vashisthasana on the other side. I'm modifying again, taking that knee to the floor. Make sure that right hand's directly underneath your right shoulder. And you'll elevate that leg and take the hand over the ear. So right here, this is a wonderful balance position, using the inner thigh, the outer thigh. You stay here or we squeeze in and we lengthen. We're breathing. So there's no rushing, smooth movements. We're tracing that breath in and out through the nose through the entire practice. This one we hold, elbow to knee. Maybe they touch, or just we lengthen. Hands to the floor. Vinyasa or meet in downward dog. Take your time. We pause and breathe. Slowing everything down, enjoying our resting posture. If you're low on energy, great time to take a child's pose. We have 3 more breaths here. Trace it in and out through the nostrils. Last breath here. We let that go as we walk our big toes into the center plane. The right leg extends. We'll squeeze the knee to the nose. Little more core action. Extend through the toes. 3 more. We breathe in. We push that heel out. Last 2. Squeeze and extend. Last one, knee towards our nose. We look between our hands. Find your way all the way up into crescent lunge. That beautiful tall spine, arms in line with your ears. And we'll find our lightning posture. So weight into that right foot. This time invite your hands to your heart center. We'll push off that back leg into Vira 3. So taking flight. Slight bend in that right knee. Let's extend our arms out to the sides. 2 more breaths here. Can you lift that back leg a little higher? With control, we'll squeeze that knee in towards our chest. We unhinge that knee, and let's just twist open to the side. We'll bend the knee, find Vera 3. I can hear Bill breathing. Nice audible breath as I'm losing my balance here. On an inhale, we draw that knee back towards our nose. We lift that knee high, and we'll take that twist. One more time to the side. So hands to our heart. We find Virabhadrasana 3. We take our time. Then we lift that knee back up towards our chest. We find that twist. Gorgeous. Hands to our heart. We step back through that high lunge. Gorgeous. In our vinyasa. Hands to the floor. Right leg back. High to low. A cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Pause and breathe. So our big toes come into that center plane. The left leg extends. We squeeze the knee to the nose. We round that back body. Exhale, press through the heel. 3 more. Slow that posture down. We squeeze and we extend. Last 2. We round and lengthen. This last one, knee to our nose, look between your hands, find your way into that high crescent lunge. So where are those hands? We draw them in line with our ears. Beautiful tall spine. Then we find our lightning pose. So activating that core as we gather our prayer to our heart, look straight ahead, maybe push off that right leg a couple times into Virabhadrasana 3. So give yourself plenty of space. That right leg is in line with your hips. You keep those hands at your heart or extend, taking flight. So if you're taking flight, we find the upward dog in our chest. We have 2 more breaths here. Look straight ahead. 1 more inhale. On an exhale, we hug that knee up. You can unhinge and twist. Gorgeous. We'll take the hands to our heart. We bend and slowly find our way into Vera 3. So you can stop at any point. Reconnect with that breath. Find your balance or join us. We hug that knee in. We unhinge as we twist over that right leg. We squeeze the heart, hands to our heart. Last time. Slowly find your way into Virabhadrasana 3. Then we lift that knee. We twist to the right. We bend that knee and a giant step back into that high lunge. So again, where are those hands? Take them in line with your ears. Your vinyasa. Gorgeous. Hands to the mat. Left leg back, high to low. A cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog. Pause and breathe. So keep your hands where they are. Let's walk our feet 1 foot closer. Those toes turned in slightly. Bend those knees if you need to. We'll crisscross the left hand behind the right knee. You find the heel or the ankle. Let go of the head as you twist under that right armpit. Relax your head. Slow down that breath. So the more challenging postures we tend to hold our breath or find rapid breathing. We'll come to the other side. We want to keep that consistent flow no matter what posture we're doing. So it's maybe 3, 4, 5 counts for the inhale and exhale. Just tracing that breath, gorgeous. We'll take 1 more inhale here. Let that go completely. Release both hands, stepping back into your full expression of your downward dog. And we'll cycle through a vinyasa, high to low, a cobra or upward dog. We'll meet in downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. One last time, the right leg lifts. We bend the knee, stack the hips, extend the right leg, step it forward into that low lunge, untuck the toes, hand support outside that front foot. We open up those collarbones again. And we'll draw the hips back, lengthen over that right leg. Flex the toes. And taking that left hand outside the outer edge of the right foot. A gentle twist towards the right. And a deep bend in that right knee. We'll tuck the left toes under. Find your way through high plank. And downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Left leg lifts. We bend the knee, stack the hips. Extend the left leg, step it forward into that low lunge. Untuck the toes, hands outside the front foot. We open up the collarbones. And then we'll draw those hips back. We flex the left toes. And maybe take your hand outside the outer edge of that left foot. So you're lengthening the spine. Notice if you're curving, you want to find a nice long spine. Bend the left knee as you need to. Your chin is reaching towards your shin. Firing up those hamstrings. Deep bend in that left knee. Right toes tuck under. We step back into high plank. And cycle through your vinyasa, high to low, cobra or upward dog. Meet in downward dog and find our way back into child's. Beautiful work, so settle in. Allow the body to soften here, to let go. To reconnect with that rhythmic breathing. Let the bones be heavy. And just check in, what's the body doing? How's the body feeling? Maybe you're tired, so the last minutes of class, you go a little less, or maybe you have a lot more energy. So really gauging your own practice. Let's take our hands behind our back, finding your heels, maybe melting your heart a little deeper. And we'll transition onto our hands and knees. Tuck your toes under, lift those sits bones, and we'll walk our hands back towards our toes. Our feet are parallel to the sides of the mat. We find that halfway lift, elbows out to the side, crown of the head towards the floor. Shake out that head. We inhale, find that halfway lift. Now sliding your hands underneath your feet for gorilla posture. Full inhale, elbows out to the side, crown of the head towards the floor. So our tendency to always hang out on the heels. So bring more weight into the balls of the feet, maybe wiggle your toes, massage the heels of your hands. You shake out that head. We'll release our hands, spin our toes out into Malasana. So into that deep squat, hands at your heart center. Lifting your heart, lifting your head, maybe softening your eye gaze, remembering that intention. And flutter those eyelids open. We'll come all the way up to a standing position as we heel toe those feet together. Samastitihi. Pause and breathe. Lick your lips. Relax that jaw. As we flutter our eyelids open and find our way back into our chair. Full breath in. Working on eagle, so right elbow underneath left. We take our right thigh up, over, maybe find that wrap. I'll find that side view. So we sit tall. Our tendency is to lean forward. So see if you can tuck your tail under. Imagine those shoulders bumping up against the wall. Now squeeze those thighs together as we sit a little deeper. We still have that beautiful tall spine. If you fall out, just come back in. Stay here, or Virabhadrasana 3 again. We unwrap and pitch our heart forward. Try to level off those hips. Maybe point through the toe. We look straight ahead. Now, like we did in the other posture, we'll take our knee up and we'll unhinge. Maybe gaze over that shoulder, and we'll take that wrap. And let's just release. So nice. We open up our heart. We bring our prayer to our heart center. Samastitihi. We'll find the other side. So finding your way into chair. Same setup. Left elbow underneath right. Weight into the right foot. We lift the left thigh up, over, and we sit tall. So tuck your tail. Maybe you move your knees a little more to the left. Squeeze those thighs together as you sit a little deeper. You can always put that kickstand down your foot, or use the wall. So we're building those pathways as we go into these postures again and again, so the body knows where to go. So we take the thinking mind out of it. So staying here, use that peripheral vision. Maybe lift those elbows a little higher, or we go a little further, finding Vira 3. So we unwrap that leg. I'm getting away from this palm leaf here. Lift the back leg, maybe point through the toes, or see what happens when you flex that left foot. We have one more breath here. Then we'll draw that knee back towards our chest, keeping those eagle arms. Maybe unstretch that left leg and gaze over the left shoulder. We'll wrap the thigh back up and over. And let's release. Nice work. Big breath in. Hands to heart center, Samastitihi. Pause and breathe. And we'll take our traditional tree. So one more standing posture. So right foot in the inner left thigh. You can find the Bikram version or figure 4. But we bring our hands to our heart center, that beautiful tall spine. Just enjoying our stillness in this posture. So we'll lift our prayer, extend our hands. And like the leaves are doing right now, just let them fall down slowly to the earth, releasing, letting go, the right foot to the floor, and the other side. So finding your tree, whatever version works for you. We avoid contact with the knee, so maybe bringing that foot down to your ankle. Use the support of the wall. Maybe you close your eyes this time. And maybe bringing your hands above. We separate those hands. Lift your chin, lift your eyes. Greeting the day as we allow those leaves to slowly release down, the left foot to the floor as we find our way through a vinyasa. Full breath in, we melt forward, halfway lift, step or jump those feet back, high to low plank, cobra or upward dog. Downward dog, eyes towards the back of the mat. Knees to the floor. And we'll find our way into camel. So tuck those toes under. First one, we always take 2 camels. Hands on our hips. We hug those elbows in. You feel that gorgeous stretch across the chest here. Shoulders slide down the back body. Press your hips forward. So honor where you are. Maybe you stay here or you reach for your heels. Cluing into that breath, making sure it's rhythmic. If you're holding, you're going too far most likely. Can you release your head, open up the throat, pressing those hips forward. We have one more breath here. With control, if you reach for the heels, we take our hands on our hips. We'll keep those toes tucked under, opening up the arches of the feet, and we'll take our hands, wrists are parallel to the front of the mat. So if this is intense, your hands are too far, maybe just take them in line with your knees. We're not going for any straining in any of these postures. We're finding subtle openings. Adjust as you need to. So good to open up our mouse wrists on the computer, everything we do. Now we'll take our hands towards the center. Open up those collarbones. And let's tap sensation back into the top of our feet. We can shake out our hands. And setting up for our second camel. So rooting through the shins this time, we're opening up the balls of the, opening up the tops of the feet. Same setup, draw those shoulders down the back body, squeeze those elbows in. You feel that opening in your chest as you press those hips forward. Finding this supported bow position. We do this on our belly. We do this on our, rooting through our shins. Maybe you go a little further. A modified version of our bridge. So letting the head go, keep reaching those hips forward. Clue in, your body will let you know if you've gone too far. A lot comes up in this posture. A lot of holdings that the body's letting go. So be gentle. Let's find 2 more breaths here. We find a final full inhale and take it in stages. You find your hips, come all the way up. Let's sit on our heels. You can walk those knees in or sit on a brick and just bring your hands to your heart center. Samastitihi. Slow down. Flutter those eyelids open. And finding our Virasana. So again, if you're seated on a brick, great. You'll find half Virasana, so that right heel, your right knee is bent. If this is challenging, just inviting you to explore figure 4 for the next several breaths. Otherwise, opening up the quadriceps. Using that brick, finding those sits bones, a beautiful tall spine. And we'll invite our hands behind. You can find the finger pads. You can press your heart forward or go a little further. So finding forearms. And maybe for some of you coming all the way down. So it's never a destination. There's never a destination that we're getting to in these postures. Our bodies are so different, different length of bones, mobility, flexibility, injuries. So some people just need to go a little further in certain postures. So we just honor where we are. We'll slowly come up with control. Just release that right leg. Feel that gush of blood, energy. Maybe shake it out, and carefully we'll take the other side. So we bend the left knee. Bill's modifying, doing something.
Figure 4.
He's doing a figure 4, standing figure 4. So we find supported, there's all kinds of options. Maybe finding those finger pads, pressing your chest, maybe this is good enough for you. Or you need to go a little farther to find those same sensations, mindfully, carefully. Finding several breaths to allow the body to let go. Using that breath. So I'm always mentioning the breath in class, but using your breath throughout the day. Before that challenging phone call, just take time to pause. How do you want the conversation to look like? We'll slowly come out. Encouraging ourselves to be less reactive, more proactive. So we'll add this all together. If both knees are challenging, again, you can find your way into a pigeon or finding full Virasana. I come into the posture, bringing my forehead to the floor. Imagine your hands are irons that are gently rolling the calves out. I'm sitting between my legs. Maybe you just sit on a brick here, and that is just where you are, or sitting on 2 bricks, or you go a little further. So we'll just have a few more breaths here. So take your time. Thankful for this body. We're just doing a tune-up with our yoga practice. As you bring your car in to get it fixed, a tune-up, that's what we're doing each time we come onto our mats. Keeping the body subtle, happy. Adding air where we need to, cleaning your windshield. We're doing that to our body, so let's slowly come back. If you did the full posture, you can extend your legs, opening up the backs of the knees, feeling that gush and rush of blood, energy, sensations, and we'll find our way to a seated position, legs extend. We remove that extra flesh, a whole breath in, our deepest fold of the morning, and let's find our deepest breaths of the morning. Seeing how high you can get those kidneys to lift as we breathe on that back body. 2 more breaths. One more beautiful inhale. Let's let that go. We lift our heart and take a bend in that right knee. Support the hand by the hip. Left arm extends. Take the elbow outside the knee as we twist over the right shoulder. We breathe in and we twist. 2 more. Our heart lifts. We twist to the right. 1 more inhale and we twist. Let's just drop that knee and open the front of our body. Shake out that head. Can you expand, lengthen a little further? And we'll take the sits bones down, right leg extends, we shake it out, and we'll find the other side. So the left knee bends, right foot flexes, support with the left hand. We lift and take the elbow outside the knee as we twist. So we inhale, and we twist. Breathe in, and twist a little further. 1 more inhale, and we twist. We come out back to center, lift, extend the left knee as we lift the hips, open up that front side of the body, and And take your hips to the floor. One more. Oh, it's almost time. So let's extend those arms. Slowly unwind that spine. We'll take one more twist before we settle into Shavasana. So draw those knees in towards your chest. We'll drop our knees to the right. You can cactus those hands. Relax your face. And we'll hug those knees back to center. We'll drop them to the other side. Energetically hug those knees together. Zip up that core. And last posture, we hug those knees in. Wrap your arms around your knees. Give yourself a beautiful hug. Gratitude for this day. We squeeze those knees, squeeze your face, squeeze your hands, squeeze everything to let it go into Shavasana. Opening up your ears for this next minute. Gently rocking your head side to side, wiggling your fingers, dancing the toes awake as we take a beautiful stretch, inhaling, and we exhale, we squeeze those knees to your chest, finding your way to either side of the mat as we slowly find our way to a comfortable seated position. Closing, keeping those eyes, softer eyes closed as we feel the effects of our practice this morning. And thanking you all for joining us this morning. The light within me honors and recognizes the light within all of you. Thank you for a beautiful practice. Make it a great day. Namaste.
Great one.
Thank you for the music bugs.
Yeah.
Thank you all. This is our last Thursday class, but we will have class on Tuesday.